59. We're not.
Good morning, everybody. Finally, technology caught up. I was pressing buttons, it wasn't working. Good morning, welcome to Natasha Makes. I am Natasha, here at Natasha Makes. For anybody new that might be joining us thinking, what is this? We have got the very fabulous John. Yeah, clearly I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to move on, not answer that question at all. You'll have to watch and find out. We have got the very fabulous John Cole Morgan in. Good morning, sir. There he is. There are his fingers. And he has a fabulous shirt that does not disappoint.
I try. One must make one effort, you know. When one is late, one must try and at least compromise.
We were a bit late this morning.
No, we didn't. We're all on time. Everything is on the counter.
Everything
Gemma has
is
her
here.
photographs. Everything is loaded.
And we have chocolate.
Oh my God, I saw those. I can't.
Well, so John said to me he forgot his box of Black Magic. I'd forgotten that they were chocolate. And I was just like,
what?
Okay. Awkward.
But it's always the chocolates your granny used to have.
They were, weren't they?
So good.
But they're really dark chocolate, so I never used to like them.
I love them now.
Dairy milk every day, all day, every day. Thornton's, the praline.
Oh, don't.
You know, the one that looks like a
Hotel
log.
Chocolat, the Florentines.
Oh.
Yum,
Anyway,
yum,
we
yum.
digress. How did we get onto food already?
Can I just say,
Yeah.
I'm busy watching you live over
Are
here.
you?
And I have to say that the captions that are coming up because I'm on mute, for you, immaculate, perfect.
Really?
Everything
That's not normally the case.
For me, not quite so much.
Oh no. Oh no, what have you said?
Historical.
What have you said? It does do that sometimes.
Apologies for coughing, girls and boys.
Well, do you know what? That's okay. So, on that note, actually, if we're going to talk about that, which I don't know if we were, but we might not.
We are now.
There might be a little bit of a delay with some orders just because we've had a bit of vid go through the warehouse. So I'm all alone. Jane's on annual leave. I mean, what of all the time?
Jane, oh no.
Jane's on annual leave. She's fine. She hasn't got it.
Oh, lucky.
And she's on annual leave.
Listen,
so I'm
as
a
long as
staff member down anyway, and then everybody else is off. So I shall be packing them slowly. And John's laughing. He's laughing because he knows. I got in this morning early,
Jane
though.
has come up as James.
Oh, really?
Yes, sorry, Jane. Yes,
Oh.
Facebook doesn't get it right.
I
But I
did-
will give you a couple of hours this afternoon to give you a hand.
Oh.
It's the least we can do.
Be
When
my
things
mother.
go wrong, you then make sure that you pull
goes
together
right.
and happen. Yeah.
You're amazing. We love you very much. So this morning,
Yeah.
I got it in early to make this for tomorrow's
Can
show.
I just say before you do this now,
Yeah.
if any of you have not used Eau Coat before,
Do it.
it's amazing, firstly.
Hmm.
But secondly, when I felt this bag, I honestly and truly couldn't tell you that it just felt so beautiful because it's got the Eau Coat on it and it's now completely waterproof. I
Yes,
just
it is.
love it. It is so pretty.
Do you want to see?
Yeah,
Do you want to
yeah,
see? Do you want to
yeah.
see? I'm going to pop it here. Well, there's your foot pedal. So this is tomorrow's make. And so you've got a pocket on the outside, all waterproof, everywhere, waterproof drawstring, waterproof, out of your Tilda. But here's the thing, right? When you
Tilda
open
Coastal,
it up,
mind you, ma'am.
yeah, and then you fold it down,
It's just divine.
all of your wash bottles, because you pop them in the elastic, stand up.
But we have approved that we can get little bottles of Fever Tree and little bottles of gin in there as
Oh
well.
yeah, sure, yeah.
With an ice bucket in as well.
And so
if
then
do
when
it
you
the
go on your
outside.
travels,
I love it.
you just, and you can put all your little things,
Bottle opener,
Round there.
nuts.
yeah,
Peanuts.
snacks, snackage,
Yeah.
and away you go. Inspired by a weekend away. There we go. So that's what we're going to make tomorrow. What's that, John?
I'm just looking at you going, oh, did you go away?
Go away, yeah.
Where did you go?
I went west. I went west for a weekend.
Lovely.
Down west. Went and saw some friends.
Good.
Right. Shall we say good morning to everybody?
To everyone.
Let's say hello to everyone. I've got my glasses, so John, if you hold it over there, I might stand a chance. Honestly,
I don't have all of them, but I've got some.
I am.
Seriously, where are your glasses?
It could be anywhere.
Gemma? Any clues?
Gemma.
Gemma knows where everything is.
There might be in my car. Morning, Sean. Morning,
Is your car
Debbie.
open?
Morning, Jan. Only if I have the keys in my pocket. Morning, Rachel. Tested positive yesterday. Oh, bless you. What better way to feel better than to watch you and John? We'll give it a go. We'll try. I don't think they are in my car, to be fair, John. But you can have a look.
Well, you're busy, so...
John last seen speeding away in my car. Morning, Elizabeth! She says, I know that chuckle. I'm assuming that's John's. Morning, Rona. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Ali F. Hope everyone in the warehouse is okay and not too poorly. I think they're generally on the mend. End of last week, a bit ropey. This week, better. Claire has noticed the 2 antique sewing machine on the shelves. They've been there for weeks, Claire. Weeks and weeks. Morning, Grace. What a great start to the week. I mean, she's making big assumptions there.
What?
That it's going to be a great start to the week.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
John said to me that, about his black magic, and so he hadn't bought them. Because you eat one every time you make a mistake.
Make a mistake or you do something right.
So I've got your dark chocolate buttons instead.
Perfect.
That was
I'm
the best
happy
I
with
could
that.
manage. Morning, Jenny. Watching today on the TV as hubby is off out to town to do some shopping. You see, whenever my dad got sent out to do shopping, there was no fun stuff in the bar. It was just like the bog standard bread and milk. There was never any like chocolate, snacks, treats. No.
We lived in Africa. We didn't have such things.
Milk heads and bananas.
Oh no! Rachel Ilsley's tested positive yesterday.
I know. You missed
Sorry
that.
if
You were
we've just done
rummaging
that.
under
Your
my bonnet.
car, hello.
I know.
Yeah.
Morning.
Rachel, feel better,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Yes. And Kate, good morning. And Sue and Anne, good morning. And Susan and Gillian, good morning. And Alia, she loves John's idea. Who needs toiletries? Gin and mixers are much more important. I had some lovely gin at the weekend, really nice. Getting into my gin. Morning, Evie. What a great sunny day.
Isn't
Made
it
all the better
gorgeous?
with smiles from Natasha. It's lovely.
really lovely
Really
driving.
beautiful. Mind you, after the weekend's weather, it did half.
We had gorgeous weather all weekend.
Did you?
I could not ply Andrew out of the... We've got a chair in our kitchen, our dining room overlooking the garden with the double bifold doors. And I could not pry him out of that chair. He was there the whole weekend looking at the garden under his blankie. It was so perfect. It was exactly what he needed for the whole weekend.
Oh, bless him.
It was brilliant.
Morning, Steph. Morning, Helen. Should my daughter and stepson tested positive? Yeah.
It's everywhere at the minute.
But it doesn't seem to be as bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I know those that are feeling unwell
Of course.
might not agree with me on that, but
I'd rather feel unwell than what it was 2 years ago, which
yeah,
was
we're just sending
deadly.
big hugs, big gentle hugs. Morning, Annie B. Morning, Wendy. Morning, Diane. Not COVID, but bad cold today. Yeah, I had that last week.
That cold is not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It is not a joke.
I went home 2 days last week early.
Oh, no.
Because I felt
For you
so
to go
bad.
home early, that's bad.
I know, and because I thought I'd given it to everybody, but they all tested for COVID and I didn't, so they obviously got somebody else's bug. Morning. Oh, it's so sparkly. Decided to make a 3D sunflower. Blooming petals are taking forever to turn through. Whose silly idea was that? Have you got a set of our forceps? Because they're the best things for turning those through. Just saying, Sylv, you need those in your life. Morning, Christina!
I think just Google the website for forceps. It'll turn up.
Well, it will.
They're really good. Sylvia Stratford is here. Hello, darling. I hope you're feeling better.
Fabulous.
That's my Sylvia, who fell and broke her hip a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, how's she doing? How are you
She's
doing?
doing really well.
Good.
Very proud of her. Lots and lots.
She's very fit though, wasn't
Oh,
she,
she's
before?
phenomenal.
So, no
She's
reason for it
phenomenal.
not to be the case. Right, now, John is making today
Too many things. Lovely things.
this
Yeah.
little block.
That's it.
And here, and here. I have got, because of you,
Yes.
back in stock, the add a quarter rulers.
I love
Oh,
the
it's not
add-a-quarter
even that
rulers.
one.
It's
But
not.
the add a quarter rulers, I'll have to go and grab one in a
They're
minute.
really good.
And I've got there it is down there, in the double pack.
Oh, right,
So
for the
that you
little
get
one and
the
the big
long
one.
one and the big one.
That is really good, because you do have
The
the
long one and
smaller
the big one,
projects, which
So
you want the smaller one for.
You need both in your
you
life.
definitely do.
I found mine, I think, 2 days after I'd done an
I was so proud of you, and can we just take a moment and say you never did FPP, and then you did that gorgeous flag, and brilliant, well done, really, really well done.
That
So proud of
was
you.
my very, very first FPP project.
It was brilliant. You did
love it.
really, really well.
I feel like I need to buy like a Mini Cooper or something just to put that on the back shelf.
Well, you know, if
Would
anybody
that be too
should,
much?
no, not at all. Darling, you know my feelings on it all. Spend it now. If you spend it now, you save on inheritance tax.
Well, there you go.
There's nothing left to give away.
What do they call it? Ski parents spending kids' inheritance.
Exactly.
They're going to have to make their way in the world.
Well, you had to. We had to.
Yeah.
Didn't do us any harm.
No. Jury's out on that,
We're
John.
very
to be
tired. We look fabulous for 64, don't we? Or should I say 24? But can we take a moment and just go over Jenny Raymond's Material Magic book? Because it's just there underneath.
I'm going to let you go through this because today, we also have on the show today this rather... See, I'd have this as a playmat or a blanket for picnics, gin and tonic blanket.
I showed Andrew and I said, I really love this. And then he said, oh, could you not just make 7 of those and have that as a quilt? And I was like, oh, yes. But then I realised that would be a really big quilt.
It would be a really big quilt. Or just a very large picnic blanket for all the friends.
Exactly.
Because when I've done stuff like this before with big hexagons like this, I've basically put it like a pod a person.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
So then and then everybody sits on their own bit and then you've got a little bit of social distancing as well. Don't get too close.
No, but honestly, and it was such a nice pattern to make. It really was lovely.
It's in the book. John's going to demo it. This is the kit for it.
Oh, these fabrics though.
They're lovely, aren't they? So what we've given you...
I don't know if did Jane tell you what we did?
Huh?
Did Jane tell you what we did?
Jane?
Jane.
No.
Because when we found that fabric the last time, I hid it from you and from everybody else because these fabrics are too beautiful. We couldn't not.
I know. No, well, yeah, no, we now have your own shelf that we just hide stuff on, and then we try and forget about them, and then I can't find them when you come in. I'm going, where are John's fabrics? And of course they're on the shelf that I gave to you. Yeah.
But look how beautiful these are.
These are Moda fabrics. These are our plains, which really brings the price in at a really affordable price. So, yeah, do take a look at those. I think it's like $19.99, I think, for the kit.
It's mad.
Which is, I think, I mean, like, don't quote me on that because I don't really do that whole...
No, you
selly telly thing of da-da-da, and we're nearly running out, so get it quick, and ooh, because I think that anybody that's shopped with us hopefully knows by now.
It is $19.99 on sale. I think it's on sale for today only, and then it kicks back up to $21.41 tomorrow. We try and keep things as affordable as possible. But are we going to do the onion rings? We are going to do the onion rings. Because. Super wide backing fabric. The price has gone through the roof. So as a treat for you today, lovely viewers, for watching and spending your Monday morning with us, we've got this on a special price. Again, I can't remember what I just said it was. $12.99 for a half metre.
$12.99 was, yeah. And it should be $14.99. So that's £4 off a metre. That's all right, isn't it? It's brilliant. But I've only got 10 metres of it. And when it's gone, it's gone. There you go. Beautiful. I love that. So that's, and do you know what I would be doing? Did you ever see my market tote bag, which you fold up into its pocket? Yes. Made of half a metre. Oh my God, can you imagine? But you know what I love about that is that once you get it, if you're going to do a tote bag like that, you can then go and actually physically colour in each ring and create your own little ombre going from light to dark on the outside. Do you know what I could do then? I could get the fabric colouring pens, put those in the pocket and then give it to the kids when we go anywhere. Genius. Gemma, you might want to take 2 metres off the website. You know what Tasha's like when she's had an idea. Right. John, do you want to come and do some stuff this morning? No, I'm much more enjoying this now. Oh, it's some chocolate. Oh, I love it. And I'm going to let you come down here. Is the iron on? I want to say yes, because I've been ironing stuff, yes. Perfect. Oh, they're good. They're terrible, those. You won't enjoy them. I won't. I'll get out of the way. Go on then, John. Hello. In you get. Boo. Hello. How is everybody? So we have got lots and lots and lots of things planned for you today. I think what we'll do is do a little recap of what we've done. So as you probably have all imagined, this is my summer quilt block of the month. 10 blocks all the way through, including the putting bits together. We're on block 3 this month, so I'll just remind you of what block 1 and 2 looks like. Hopefully I won't get these out of order. I think that's number 2.
Nope, that is number 1. So this was block number 1, which goes over here. And that was the original colourway that we chose. And then we did the cave colourway, which is just very
beautiful.
pretty. Very, very pretty. So that was number 1. Now, many of you have asked how you store these. I get these little boxes. Otherwise, you can make these.
Do you know, well, we had the little cave ones.
Oh my God, they're so lovely, those.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And then this was block number 2. And this was in the original colourway. And these are going in your corners over here. Now, when I did this, remember your colourway is going to be slightly different in the kit when you get from Natasha, because what I did, I just stood on your lights, there we go. What I did over here, you what?
I've just thrown the iPad across the room and got an electric shock off it.
I just looked up and Natasha was on the floor. Oops.
Again.
So all I've done over here is I've changed the colour of this little section here to be a lighter pink, because somebody who was testing the pattern for me used a lighter pink there, and I just thought that made it a little bit more interesting. You don't have to. So that's the colourway that we've got there, and then that is the cave colourway that we did in the Aboriginal dot, which is gorgeous. I think all of these are still available on the website. If not, call Gemma when she gets back to work. Gemma will sort it for you. She's clever like that. Each of these you will get your pattern. Your pattern will have your colour guide for your fabric that you're going to be using. I always suggest, especially when you're doing a block of the month and you're at the end of the month and thinking, which pink was that, which purple, stick a selection of the colours along here. I've given you loads of room there, loads of room over here. You don't need all that space. So if you are doing the cave collection and the normal collection, that is what you can do. Then you'll have a picture of the block that we're doing this month. Which for this month is this one over here.
Beautiful.
And then on the 4th page will be the colour key of which fabric goes where on how to do all of those. So that's going to be your pattern, and then you will get this. We had a question from a lady come in that when she got hers it was slightly smaller than what she was expecting it to be. When you get this piece, you need to take your ruler and measure the 2 lines on the side. So the dark line in the centre over there.
Do you want that on a
Can we
close-up?
go here if that's possible?
Yeah, of course.
So the dark line between my fingers there and there should measure 5 inches. And when you get the seam allowance on the side here, from there to there should measure 5.5. If it doesn't, reprint it if you've got the digital thing, and all of them are being measured before they get sent out to you now, so that should all be sorted going forward. When I am about to start, I always trim it down to about that size, and you'll see I've got maybe 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch away from my seam allowance line. It just makes it a little easier to maneuver when you're working. Sorry. So this is how the page will come on a normal A4, and all I do is I cut it out to about that size, and you can see it's about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch outside the seam allowance line. It just makes it a little easier when you are putting this all together to work with. So let's start off with this. Get this started. I think I may have nicked one of your bags there.
Go for it.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Now the other thing that we have discovered as well, which was a little bit of a surprise, why is my light not working? There we go. When in doubt, a little tap will always get your machine working, hopefully. My little bubba, my little bubba. The thread boxes have sold out, which we were not expecting. So I have a few left of the thread boxes, which I will make sure I bring in for next time. So the 2 colorways that we've got for you today, this is the colorway that is in your bundle, which we are doing as the solids. These are a little bit cheaper to be able to do that, but it's a gorgeous colorway, and it will make the block like that.
Gorgeous.
Okay,
gorgeous,
but
gorgeous.
we have also got
because
the
we always promise
cave
it.
bundle, because we're always going to try and chuck some gorgeousness in there. This is the purple that we're going to use for the corners, and then this is going to be what we've called magenta, which will be for the middle bit of the flower, and then obviously the leaves and the background. So those are the kits available for you for this quilt
and that
today.
green is really in that
it's
Roman
beautiful.
glass. It's very, very beautiful.
Very, very, very nice. So the rulers that you have put here, are they here for a reason, ma'am?
I didn't know if you needed them.
Thank you. I'm going to just put them. I've moved one thing, the rulers,
Yeah,
over here.
yeah, that's right.
Because every time I come here, I have this wonderful habit of moving things around and no one can find it afterwards. That one is that a pencil?
It's kind of everything.
Perfect. So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to write out what your colours are. This will be in your pattern. Having done it last night, I am able to remember which one it is, thankfully. Whether it's right or not, we're about to find out.
Lo, you can do it in other colours.
Of course you can. You can do it in any colour you like.
Purple is her least favourite colour. She's got.
Is purple not your favourite colour?
No.
But the thing is, in a quilt like this, you do need to have the pop of different colours. You can't have it all in pink, otherwise you won't have the definition of it. Or you can, and you won't have the definition of it, and it will still be gorgeous. Whatever works for you.
Yeah, it kind of does need the purple in there. Soz, Lo. Soz.
No. Look, Lo's got a great eye on everything. It's her quilt. She's the one who's got to live with it, not me.
I think she was hoping you'd just make her one and send it.
Nice try, Lo. Sorry, no.
She keeps trying it with Jane as well, and they yet to arrive. It would be fair to say. Behind you in the black box.
I will look. Ooh, there's a selvage. Have you thrown the selvage away? Do you know what I'm like with selvages?
Do you want them?
No, I'm not asking. They're in this. Oh my God! Sorry, nothing to see here. I'm like that
Lo just said, me make quilts. You guys have to make it and send it. Yeah, they're in the post. Yeah. Morning, Valerie. Lots of lovely goodies today, as always. Love the little clips holding John's quilt. Are you going to stock them? The little quilts, clips holding them. Well, up the top there.
They are very good.
They are. Well, if you want some, we can get you some. That's no problem. Morning, Christine. Oh, you see, Julia's favourite colour is purple.
Oh. I can't believe I've just raided your bin like that. Actually, right. I can. Who am I kidding?
I mean, to be fair, you used Gemma's Yves Saint Laurent bag as a... Was it,
well, no. Yes.
Was it her Yves Saint Laurent bag?
Louis Vuitton.
Oh, Louis Vuitton, sorry.
Oh, yeah. No. Right, so those are borders.
Oh, hang on.
That's background. Now, I always try and cut these out. Cut the piece bigger than you think you need. It's always easier having it bigger than you think you need. So I'm going to try and get that little pinky bit into one of my seams over there. So with all of the FPP pieces, this is the right side of your paper. This is the wrong side of your paper. And you're always going to have the wrong side of your fabric for the first piece to the wrong side of your fabric to the wrong side of your paper. And then we're going to put them just like you would normally in sewing, right side of your fabric to right side of your fabric. And you're then going to sew the line on the right side of the paper to make sure that we get that right.
Do you want me to add a quarter ruler, John?
You can go and grab your add a quarter ruler. Oh, I like that. Whether I can keep it that way, let's see. Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Now, annoyingly, I grabbed the wrong sewing machine this morning. Oops. So I
love that you did that and just didn't notice.
I haven't got my Oriful thread in it. And, whoops. So please don't think less of me not using the Oriful thread. I just had it in the wrong box.
We've got some on the...
Oh no, so I'm not rethreading the machine. And
okay.
We're just going to accept that I'm using a different thread. And that's okay.
That's okay, it's okay.
So the great thing about the oh, where's your little one? I was about to sing the praises of the little one. Now, I love these rulers. They are really, really good. What you can also do is you've got a smaller one that is a 6-inch one.
Yeah.
So when you're doing this, all you do then is you fold your fabric over. Everything you want to keep is always going to go underneath your ruler. And then you line that up and you're able to then trim everything that you don't need off like that. And let me just trim these threads as I go. Oh, no, I did it already. And then we are just, I always set my seam first. Oh, that's a nice warm iron.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There's general naughtiness happening on the Facebook page.
I like it.
I can't read it out, John.
Oh, will we get banned again?
Possibly again.
All I will say is I can approve this message.
It was about the clips and other uses for them.
Oh, hello.
Potentially where they came from.
Oh my.
I wouldn't like to disappoint and upset everyone now telling them they actually came from Amazon. But, you know, disappointing.
We know. We know.
We know the
So all I'm doing now is making sure I get this the right way round, and I'm not, because I'm not paying attention.
Oh,
I'm being distracted by your general naughtiness. I'm so proud of you all. Now, when you do these, now these have got some really funny angles on it. You can see that the angle you've got over here, you need to make sure that you keep your seam allowance over here. It's really important that you get that. So you'll see that even if you use a bit more fabric than you would usually, rather do that than end up missing the seam allowance. And a good way of testing it is you run your nail along here and you'll have an indent on the fabric over here and you'll be able to tell. So I've got more than enough fabric there. So we're now sewing number 3 onto number 2 and number 1. Mm-hmm. It's very warm in here today.
It is. Honestly, we have feast or famine here. And that's all there is. We're either freezing cold or boiling hot.
The menopause. You never know. Either is possible.
The menopause. Yeah, you see the men.
The menopause.
Yeah.
You know.
Emphasis on the men in that. I don't know why I'm just giving you the shot of the sewing machine. Nothing's happening there.
And look at that for that gorgeous little flower in the middle there. Isn't that beautiful? I love this fabric.
Yes, yes.
Right, so now we're doing number 4, which is the cream section over here. Yep, that'll do. So you're going to fold on the seam. You're going to be sewing along.
There really isn't an easy other way to do this block, is there, really? Just, you know.
Well, I'm sure there may very well be, but for me, I just think that it just gives you such a beautiful, crisp finish.
And you don't have to worry about points, matching points or anything like that.
I did a small demonstration on my website, on my YouTube page, showing people how to do it. And what was really interesting is my point didn't meet. And I think it's really important that when you do these demos that you actually show that the point doesn't meet and why it doesn't meet.
Why didn't
so if you want to zoom in here, I'll show you.
Yeah, let me just get that back.
So when I did this block over here, I know you can't really tell, but over here I've just missed the point, if I get my finger out of the way. And the reason is, when I was ironing this little bit of cream, I haven't pulled this away quite taut enough. So you'll see I've got a little fold of my cream fabric there.
Oh, so if you just had pressed that.
So if I just
it's a pressing matter.
Pressing is so important. And what's good is now that I've made the error there, I'm going to show you here how you make sure you've got the pressing correct. And it is literally just a case of just practice, 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 and being kind to yourself when and if you get it wrong.
Craziness.
So of all the fabric that we've used, that is what you've got left. So I've got a 4-inch piece of this fabric. So you can tell that's what I've got left from 4 inches after making one of the flowers.
Wow.
So you can tell you can make loads of them with that. So you don't use a huge amount of fabric. So when I do this, I always set my seam. Now this iron would actually be better than the iron that I use at home. And what you do when you're doing it is you pull this over ever so slightly and then you put the nose of your iron onto your seam and you just press it over. Now if you're able to see your stitches, you've gone too far. And if you've got a lip left over, that means you've got it perfect. So there's that little balancing act. You've got that little balancing act of being able to make sure that you haven't got a lip over here, and equally you haven't got your stitches showing over here, because if I pull that really taut, you'll be able to see your stitches along that line, and that is not something you want. You don't want the stitches.
No.
Right, so that is number 4. Number 5 is this cream section over here. Now you'll notice I'm cutting these a lot bigger than I need them to be, and mainly because I'd rather have a little bit of wastage than having to unpick these, because if your bias goes funny, it'll just look really, really weird by not getting it as accurate as possible. So always, always, always use a bigger piece of fabric than you think you need.
There's nothing worse than trying to unpick.
FPP.
Because you shorten your stitch length, don't you?
You shorten it to 1.6. Well, I'm doing 1.6 on this sewing machine. But yeah, if you don't get the, if you've got to unpick it, it's always a pain. If you do need to unpick it, and you do unpick it, make sure you pull all your little thread bits out as well, because a lot of the time you don't, and then once you get the paper out, you forget. And for years and years on end, you've got this little tiny thread that you can't get out, because you've already quilted it and everything. Dum, dum, dum. Right, so we're trimmed. Now we're going to press that again.
So I have a new baby nephew.
Yay!
Ah, little William Walter. Bless him. Born last week. So yes, congratulations.
Very, very cool. Congratulations. Grandparents must be very proud.
Obviously.
Obs.
Obs. Obs, obs, obs. So that's what's been happening in my world. He's just so small.
I have to say, I do love it when people have babies, because they are so adorable, and they are so loved, and they're so noisy, and they're a little bit smelly at times when they have their little ablutions. So I love being able to go and take the lovely photo, do all of that, and then go, oh, there you go.
Have it smells that.
Have a lovely day. Bye-bye, bye-bye. I'm going off to go and have gin and tonics in the garden.
And sleep well.
Enjoy your baby.
And get a full night's sleep.
Well, yes, that would be a pleasant surprise. So just like we've always done the FPP things, you're going to fold that back. Everything you want to get rid of is on that end. And this is where you realize if you've hit your point or not. Ah,
have you?
Perfection.
Ah, perfect.
Of course, I'm blaming you on that one.
I mean, I will give you that. Yeah.
And how you know you've done it is you can see that the little point there has hit your green exactly where it's supposed to. And I love this colorway here with the what are these? Is this Millefiore? No, it's the
Roman glass.
Roman glass.
Yeah. Loving it.
Now, is that going to be long enough? Oh, it is.
Oh, Elizabeth says if people get that close enough to see the point, they need a slap. I mean, there is that.
There is that to it.
Yeah.
But on a Monday, we try not to promote violence before 11 a.m, except for the lovely lady on the M1 this morning who tried to force me out of the road, and then I wasn't going quick enough for her as I was overtaking a Royal Mail truck. You know, one of those giant 18-wheeler ones.
Yeah.
And there's speed restrictions on the road, so of course I'm doing the speed limit. And then she, as I was turning into the middle lane, she decided she was going to cut in behind me, and there was barely any space for me to do it. Nearly caused the Royal Mail truck off the road.
Uh-oh.
And then proceeded to scream and shout at both him and I.
Oh.
And you're like, gosh,
wow.
Happy morning to you,
and good morning,
sweetheart.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend, you miserable. La 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 la. But we treat the world with kindness.
We do. We give it a go, right?
Mm-hmm.
We give it a go.
But they test our nerves. There are they.
But the idea is...
So now we're on number 8, and you can see it slowly taking shape as we go here. Always test that the fabric is going to fit before you start stitching. And I think we're okay there. Yep.
Lovely.
Did you watch your podcast, by the way?
I know you were involved in it.
I know you were involved in the conversation. But you remember you said there is some footage somewhere in the world of you training to be an Olympian.
Oh no, did you find it?
Did I find it? Did I copy it, download it from someone's website and insert it in the conversation as you were talking about throwing things in fields and doing all that? Would I have done that?
Man.
I think your exact wording was, somewhere on the internet there is footage of me choking on a mask, saying, I can't walk, my limbs are thinking. It's like, come on. So
Greg was really mean.
Well, yes. I wouldn't have invited him for my Christmas meal, that's for sure. But it was an impressive thing. I had no idea you did all those things.
Well, you know.
You're an impressive lady.
No, my kids don't believe me. That's the thing. I need to show them some of this.
It was on Canadian TV.
I know. Sky. Canadian Sky.
No, it was on Canadian, with proper Canadians and everything.
Proper
Canadians in like Canadian land. I don't know what's happened here.
Well, you're on a close-up, so show everyone.
There's a tiny little mark over there. So sometimes what happens is the back of this, the ink comes off on your mat. So just watch out for that if it happens. That should sponge off, I wouldn't worry. Right, number 9 is the purple bits. These are amazing. Nice. I am so excited about this one. So I'm going to try and do this in an order.
Are you keeping them so that...
Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So I'm looking for number 9. So that's number 9. When I ask, that's 13. I'm going to put the scissors on top of 13.
Right.
Then I'll know where I am.
So John, what's new in your world? Tell us everything.
Oh, it's been a busy couple of weeks. I'm loving doing these podcasts, I have to say. Yesterday was a lady called Sylvia Priest who runs the UK Quilters United group. Oh, wow. And I just love being able to talk to people about their crafting journeys, and yourself doing that, doing what you've done and how you've gotten there. It's just because you spend so much time working and doing stuff that you actually don't spend time talking to people about how they've done stuff and the things that they've enjoyed and not enjoyed.
And everyone's got a different journey, haven't they?
And they're brilliant. And it's just so interesting because for me, most important part of the quilting journey is the actual people in your store, you know, in your environment. And a lot of these people, you didn't even know they were out there. And they're just so interesting. It's just lovely to see and meet them and talk to them and find out about their journeys. So that's been keeping me busy. Lady Josephine came down with a hideous cold.
Oh no.
Sylvia is doing really well on her recovery. Slowly but surely. My loft is still not built.
Well, did you think that was going to be a quick job?
I'm not even going to engage this conversation.
Okay.
Remember, we're South African. They arrive, they finish, they go away.
Oh.
And they may stay, 15, 16-hour days, but they don't leave until it's done. Oh. It's lovely. I love that.
Yeah, that's not going to...
But that doesn't happen here. So one must adjust one's expectations. And yesterday I had brunch with the people who bought our house in Tring, and they are possibly the most lovely people I have ever met. They are so lovely and so talented and just incredibly inspiring. Really, really amazing people. So I was very pleased to do that. So yeah, nice quiet weekend.
Good.
Few little things burning in the background.
Like?
Got to be done. No, I can't talk about them yet.
Oh, come on.
I'll tell you after.
Oh, well, that's no fun. That's no fun.
But yeah, lots and lots of new things coming. And before you know it, it's another
Easter.
retreat and another weekend and another, you don't quite know when it's all going to we can have a dinner party.
In your new home. Have you had a dinner party in
Not
your
yet,
new home yet?
No.
Who are you going to invite for your first dinner party?
Well, normally you're welcome. You can come, and we'll have the guest suite ready as well.
Oh, amazing.
Who are you going to bring?
Oh, Oh.
Bring Gemma if you like.
Gemma would love that.
Would love that. But yeah, we're just trying to get the building work finished and get that done. Because you see, I want a Kardashian in my garage.
I'm sorry, what does that even mean?
Oh my God. Have you never seen the Kardashians'
No.
garages?
I've never
They
seen
don't park
Kardashian.
cars in them. They don't park cars in them. They're all lined up with cupboards. Every single wall has a cupboard on it. And they're floor to ceiling, and every cupboard is catalogued, and you pull out and you've got drawers and all these. It's an organiser's dream. So what Andrew doesn't
Do you know what?
know...
That is possibly the only useful thing the Kardashians have, in my humble opinion, possibly brought into life. That sounds like a good idea.
To be fair, and I don't mean to take anything away from them, I'm pretty sure it was somebody else's idea. Sorry, but I don't... Anyway,
Yeah, but
it's
they're busy,
really
you
well
know.
organised. But my
What are
whole
they putting in
plan... see, Andrew doesn't know this yet.
Oh, right, okay.
And by now he'd be in a meeting and he won't be listening.
Oh, that's right then.
What's going to happen is all the Christmas stuff and everything is going into the loft, which is allegedly meant to be staying in the garage.
Hang on. Is your house strong enough to support
It will be.
all of your Christmas stuff in the loft?
It will be.
Because it's like a Harrods warehouse full.
Well, I counted the decorations at one point,
Amazing.
and we have
Did that take a week?
6,000 Christmas decorations for the trees.
You're like a little Christmas elf, aren't you?
Well, my husband used to buy Christmas decorations for Harrods,
Oh,
you know. So
blame him.
I blame him and he blames me. So either way, it's a great combination. But what's going to happen is everything in the garage is going to go up into the loft. And what my husband doesn't know yet is the garage is then going to have these cupboards put in, and it's going to be my fabric storage stash. All organised in project order, and then I'm going to have those Costco wire racks down the middle with all the the plastic tubs in, so I'll know
Amazing.
exactly what's in each one.
Wow.
He doesn't know this is happening yet.
Okay.
On top of my sewing studio, on
Right.
top of my YouTube studio upstairs, he's got no clue this is all about to happen, and I'm okay with that. I'm
But
okay
will
with
he
that.
be okay with it?
Forgiveness is a lot easier than permission in every marriage.
Right.
It is, isn't it?
I don't know, you're talking to the person who's mid-divorce. I clearly got this wrong.
For your next one, you can forgiveness
For my
is
next
a
marriage,
lot
I will
easier.
remember this. Sometimes you have to consider whose opinion you're asking.
Awkward.
What are you doing now, John?
We are now on number 13.
Yay!
The last scene. Oh, Lord. Me put my foot in it. Love it. And honestly, this block, you can see what it looks like in the two different colorways, and it is just so special.
Oh, John,
In both of
they
them.
would be able to if I got. I'm doing every other camera angle apart from the one that's
That's right. Well, I'm going over
actually
here now
required.
to press,
Okay,
and then I've got to cut it.
good.
So Andrew's granny is 100 next month,
Wow.
still living at home. So I'm really looking forward to going down and seeing her for her birthday. Now, because I have a routine where I trim all of my pieces at the exact same point for all of my foundation paper piecing, that's the reason I'm not using my add a quarter ruler at the minute. Because for me and my projects, I always think it's very important to make sure you have consistency when you come to put all your blocks together. One more cut.
Ooh.
One more cut. Before I flick it over, I'm going to get rid of all the
I'm
thread.
excited to see.
Oh, this is going to be beautiful.
Ready, steady. Ooh,
That is
that
really
looks
pretty.
fabulous in the cave,
It really
doesn't it?
is pretty. So that's the original colorway. I've used grunge on the edge by mistake because I grabbed the wrong box. But you can see that is a beautiful colorway, but the cave,
Does that do it for you every time?
just look how beautiful
Sings,
that
doesn't it?
is. I love that.
And then you've got lots of other colours other than purple.
Exactly. You can do these in blues, you can do them in any colour. Well, the thing is, there's not a huge amount of purple in there, really, because you've got that gorgeous brown in there.
Yeah.
So that is block 4, block
Hooray.
3, and that is where it's going to go in your quilt over here.
Oh,
Thank
hang
you,
on,
ma'am.
hang on.
So that's where it's going to go in your block when you're done, over there. Oh, that is pretty.
Did you do those blocks in that quilt a little bit smaller? Is this?
Yes.
So this is
I'll
going
tell
to
you perfectly
make up
honestly,
a little
I did a TV show thing where I printed this out on a piece of fabric and quilted it because time. We don't have time to. I didn't have time to make that, and that was early January where I was trying to have a holiday, and I thought nervous breakdown or print the quilt.
Oh, come on.
Cost a fortune, but there we go.
Still looks great though.
It really does.
Great. Sylv said, Kate, every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. I'm just embarking. You know, I get ideas.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good idea.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. What you're finding is my really good idea. You're finding the salvages of my really good idea. No. Because what I'm doing...
Because if you did, that would be terribly sad for you.
Is... Cut some more. You're welcome to them all, John, that's fine. I've started a project. It's going to be a little bit bigger than I thought.
Oh. What are you doing?
I'm doing a really simple basic quilt.
Yeah.
But in all the fun cave stuff that sometimes I'm not quite sure what to do with. But I think that if you actually look at these, you start to get an idea of which ones they are.
Oh. But you see, now what most people don't know about this is if you want to use these, they do something called a bookcase quilt. So you literally make a bookcase out of fabric.
Yes.
And leave this on, and then you stitch these, you either fuse these onto some fusible interfacing and then stitch them down, and they stay like that, and you've got the names of all the fabrics as books.
Beautiful.
I love them.
Ali wants to know, are we collecting salvages for you now, John?
That would be a terrible idea. Yes, please. A terrible idea. You don't want to do that.
If you just send them in here, we will pass them on.
Yes, please. I love salvages. I've got a huge bag of them. One of my favourite finds at Festival of Quilts was at, I think it was Lady So-and-so. No, it was Cotton Patch. They were selling bundles of all their salvages, and I was like, mine. And I ended up buying about 3 or 4 rolls of them, and that was all they had. But yeah, I love salvages.
Margaret says, Natasha McCarthy has a really good idea. What kind of film is that? A comedy or horror? I think it could be a mixed genre.
It's a commer. COMORR.
Lo is just very excited about the fact that you can actually print a quilt. And she can actually print a quilt.
Oh my God,
and that
it's
she
amazing.
doesn't actually have to sew it. I know. What newfangled whatever is this?
I stole it from Sewing Street. Sorry.
Yeah, but they had their own printer, didn't they?
They
did. They could do that.
They did.
I don't know if they used to set the ink though when they just printed them. Just like the quilts.
I'm just ignoring that conversation.
Okay,
I'm going to sit over here. Right. So
no, I meant just for the show because it wasn't going to go anywhere other than the show. Oh, okay. Maybe you know something I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Right, let's have a look at this book, shall we?
So when I made this quilt over here, sorry, Natasha.
Well, hang on.
When I made this quilt, I had exactly the same as what kit you are getting, and this was how much I had left over.
So I'm going to move this along a little bit so that you can actually see the full effect of that.
So this was how much I had left over, making everything on there. So that was, once you do a strip set cuts, that was how much I had left over. But you can see that there is a huge amount here. And then of the black fabric, I had this much left over as well. So you can tell you're getting a huge amount of fabric with it, and this is what I had left over. Now on the quilt itself over here, Jenny does give you the descriptions to make this into a rectangular hexagon. You know what I mean, like a rectangular hexagon, by giving you extra fabric in the kit to go over here. So this was how much I've had left, and you can see there's more than enough there to be able to create the little rectangle to do that. And you probably will still have left over for your stash, but hey, binding. So what you are going to do when you start this is, I did a full demonstration on how to make this quilt yesterday on my YouTube page from start to end, because obviously time and all that, I didn't have the ability to be able to make the quilt and then do the full demo here. So when you go onto my YouTube page, Quilt Along with John, you will be able to find it there.
Quilt Along with John.
Quilt Along with John. It's gorgeous.
I just love this. And do you know what I love even more? Is the colourway that we chose for it.
It's so good.
Isn't it beautiful?
So good.
So I'm thinking Sylve, for you, this is perfect because Sylve loves a bit of leopard print. And it's pink leopard print with that beautiful clash of that hot orange.
It's gorgeous.
As well. And then the teal. I mean, this is just...
It's just stunning.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
All of that.
And the thing as well is a lot of people, I didn't measure this. Hang on, Jenny tells us how big it is. But it's not that big a project, which I loved. And I think from start to end, it took me 6 hours. So it's not that big a project. What is technical is a bit I'm going to show you now. So this is coming in at 39 inches by 46 as the hexagon. But I'm...
And you get all the templates in the back of the book, don't you?
So in the book, now I'm going to start off with the book. There are... have you got 3 of her books?
Yeah.
Fans and Fabrications and...
The other ones.
Foldy.
Oh, you see, if Gemma were here, she would.
Gemma would be throwing it at me from the door.
I know, right?
But sorry. What is this? What is all this?
Oh, it's part of a project, John. That was from my bag.
Pietra.
I know. Sylvia's gone pink leopard.
Oh,
I know.
It's terrible. We did it only for you, Sylvia.
Well, yeah. Susie says she loves a bookcase quilt. Easier to store than my hundreds of books. Well, yeah, quite.
Now, in the Material Magic book, what I loved about this is there are so many different patterns. Now, I can't remember how much this is on the website. I will leave that to the Natasha. Jenny Raymond, as any of you have ever had the privilege of meeting her, is amazing and wonderful and lovely. And she gives you all these different techniques on how to do this. And you can see this Japanese folded patchwork, being able to do that. All of the projects in here are just so interesting and really, really, really fun to make. And she's toyed with all the folding of circles and being able to turn triangles into these different beautiful shapes on the inside of triangles. I just love all of Jenny's techniques on it. So this book, when I was going through it, I was just loving. And then we were going to do a vase, and then I kept turning and I kept turning and I kept turning. And I'm like, no, keep your vase. I'm doing that. Because it's just so fun. Now, we've got I think there are 5 templates in total. So this is the pattern on page 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43, and 44. But on the back page, you've got all of your templates. Now, what I did was I photocopied these, and I then made sure that I printed these all out, photocopied them, and then went and cut them out.
Margaret says, don't we measure hexagons along the side?
Yes.
Darn COVID brain can't remember what size
that's
John said to
exactly
work
right.
it out.
I'm going to come to that in a moment.
Everyone does measure it the same way.
They don't, but they should.
Well, I know they
should.
We should start a hexagon measuring revolution.
Completely agree with you.
Okay,
one thing I will say to you is when you are cutting this one, remember from there to there is 3.5. We've cut the end off there. So just make sure that you're getting 3.5 on here. So Jenny's given you the measurements over here. And the little arrow points to the grain.
Yeah.
So when we are doing these specifically, you make sure you're getting the grain the right way. Otherwise, you'll be sewing bias on bias, and
do you know what Jenny is? She's a stickler for the grain.
Oh, she's very good on grain.
And she's taught me a lot.
She really has.
Very much not, just perfect. Jane says the colours are a match made in heaven. We thought so.
Wow.
We were very pleased with ourselves. I dare to say it, John, but we did look a little smug.
Well, I just think that when you know you're right, you just go with it. When
there isn't another option, is there?
When you
Right's
know,
right,
you
right.
know. When you write, what's left? Right, so I'm going to show you a fun little project over here. Well, it is the actual block. But what is so interesting is you're going to make exactly the same block. But one way will have, so this is one colorway. This is effectively going to be your central block. I've just switched my pink and my greens. So that would be your central block of the quilt over here.
Amazing.
Pop the... So that's the central block.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry, yeah.
That's the central block over here. All I've done is I've made a pink one in the middle and a green one on the outside. And then that is how your block will look.
Nice.
Lay that out.
Silver's concerned that the Margaretpedia is broken.
What does that mean?
Well, Margaret normally knows any question that we need. We always turn to Margaret. And she did make us laugh the other week because she said that it was actually her husband down the pub is known as Mickopedia.
Mickopedia, that is funny. That is funny.
It made us all chortle quite a lot. But she's our Margaretpedia.
We like it.
What is going on here?
So what I'm going to show you now is, bear with, I'm just laying it out before I do it. Is the difference between the central block and the outer block. Okay, so the central block was all orange. Unfortunately, I haven't got any of this fabric left. So you're going to just have to bear with me. So you can see that is your, oh no, sorry, wrong one. I haven't put an orange in the middle. So that is your interlocking triangle, the 6 around here.
That's so clever. Hang on.
But the technique is identical. So that over there is now identical to this.
That's crazy.
But before you move anything along, it's identical. Everything is identical.
Hang on. Before you whip it all away, put that back.
So that is your interlocking triangle.
Amazing.
Over there. But if we then, all we're doing is just changing the colours of what's being sewn where, you've got exactly the same block, but because we haven't changed the colours for this circle and the outer circle, that's your central block.
Amazing.
So it is 6 to 1, half dozen to the other.
That there, Jenny Raymond's a clever
She's very
stick,
clever.
isn't she?
Very, very clever.
Very clever stick.
So this is, we're going to make this block only because I then don't have to cut any of the fabric and I'm being lazy. But this is what we're going to make today. But you can tell how it is so simple that exactly what I'm going to teach you here to do is exactly the same as what's on the board.
Perfect.
Now, one tip that Jenny shows you, which I thought was genius. I don't know about all of you, but I have this terrible habit of sewing that and then sewing that and sewing that and sewing that and sewing that and going, why the hell have I got 2 pieces over here? And then when I try and get it, I get it in the wrong place. So, excuse me. Pardon me. So what I'm doing here is I'm making sure they're all in the same place. They're all at the same position, so that when I sew them together, they're all going to be identical.
Oh, right, okay.
And that is in the book. Jenny doesn't suggest sewing them all together. It was just one of the little things, or maybe she does. I'm not very good at reading patterns. I just look at the pictures and go with it. So that is what we're going to do there. But make sure that you keep these. When Jenny, sorry, just touching back on the templates, Jenny suggests that you print these out and then put them on a bit of card. That is really important that you do that, because it is, when you lay that on top and you just freehand it, ask me how I know, you may cut the top off your hexagon.
John.
Just ask all the little bit over there, and you didn't do it the first time, you did it the second and the third time as well. So put it on a piece of card. Now this bit is really simple. You're going to repeat the exact same process all the way along. And when you've got the little dead end over there, you're making sure you've got the black bit sticking out at the top, and you're going to sew down this seam. Okay, so all of them are consistent, and you leave that black bit out, and the dead end bit is going on the side you're going to be sewing to the top of it.
Okay, got it.
And all I'm doing now is resetting my machine to get my 1/4 inch.
John, my question to you is...
The answer's no.
Oh.
Yes.
You don't want to go to the cafe for lunch?
Oh yes, that'd be terrible. Oh, may I preface that with what have they got?
I don't know what they've got today.
because
there's normally a lot of
they've
panini
normally got
action.
lots of lovely loveliness. So I would like some lovely loveliness in my
Do
life
some
today.
lovely loveliness. Oh, Margaret says, sneezy, dopey, snotty and grumpy. That's me today. Oh. Second
What's
box
going
of
on
tissues
with
and
you,
it's
my
not
baby?
even 11 yet. By the sounds of it, the vid.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, she's saying COVID brain, so I'm going with that.
Right,
John.
I have obviously got something awry here. Bear with. Small technical issue with our sewing machine. Bear with, please. Thank you, caller.
I had to do that this morning and had forgotten my glasses. Can you imagine how much fun that was for me? Oh, Margaret, we wish you well.
I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah.
So the UK is obviously not publishing their COVID figures at the moment, but something like 80,000 people tested positive on
Righty.
Saturday. It's
Alone?
mental.
How do you know these things? I don't watch the news. It's a bit
I
depressing.
know I don't watch the news, especially now. Oh.
Oof. Do you know what? I had this conversation with the boyf because he always watches the news and he likes to know everything that's going on. And he's like, why don't you watch any of it? And I said, because I can't do a lot about it. Like I can give
Well, that's what I
donations.
loved about your podcast, is you said you don't complain about politics because that you're a doer,
Yeah.
and you're one of those people that if you did it, if you complain about it, you've got to go and change it.
Yeah. So instead, I just make my work, my little bit of the world, the best that I possibly
Exactly.
can. And if we all made our own little bits of the world the best we possibly could,
Exactly.
and obviously, you know, I will help, I will donate. I'm going to go through my wardrobe and take out anything that I haven't worn in the last 6 months and give that to charity and all of those things. Does anybody know? This was the other conversation that I had, was about donating clothes. And I know that that people are worried that some are just going to be destroyed because they're left and got wet at the borders.
Oh no.
But part of me is thinking, but it's better to try because some will get through.
Yeah.
But if anybody knows like a good way of them to get through.
That's a really good idea. In our little yarn bomb in Tring, we've got a lady who's Polish, and she's heading back to Poland in a couple of weeks. And you've seen all the pictures online of the mothers in Poland leaving
The buggies.
the buggies and
Yeah.
things, and you just, you know, it's so empowering seeing in these atrocities and horrible times the strength and kindness of others.
Anything that can be done.
You know, anything that can be done. And for her, I was saying to her, do you have any suggestions with regards to, because obviously a lot of the countries that are looking after the refugees and stuff, that's where we need to be sending the clothes to, because they're the ones that are going to need it. They're the front
Absolutely.
line.
So our kids' school is collecting like non-perishable foods,
Perfect.
baby stuff, toiletries. Emily, bless her little cottons, has come out of nappies.
Oh.
So all of her because I have a nappy subscription for
Yep.
biodegradable nappies, so they can have all of Emily's leftovers.
Oh, brilliant.
So
And that's the thing, it's something so small as that, you know, you don't even think about it.
yeah,
It's just...
yeah. Oh, Lo, she said, sweating when filling up, feeling sick over prices. You are suffering from car owner virus. Not laughing, but kind of laughing a little bit.
I am a little annoyed by that, and I do not want to start a whole fuel conversation. But
Go on.
We haven't even emptied our reserves yet.
I
Do you
know, and
remember,
yet still
do you
the
remember a
prices
couple of
have gone
months ago they were telling us there's so much fuel, don't worry, don't all panic, we haven't got enough HGV drivers, there's enough fuel. And everybody was like, I don't believe you. The British government, tell us the truth, come on. And everybody was then filling their cars up, even though they hadn't filled their cars up for decades. But now all of a sudden, you know, it was £2 a litre along the way down. And I do hope there is a service station nearby, because I'm not quite sure I have enough fuel to get to said service station.
Oh, I'll give you a
So,
shove.
Yeah.
It's fine. No, there is a more reasonably priced one quite close by.
Oh,
Phil
good.
says I don't normally watch the news, and I haven't bought a paper for years.
Quite right.
There is a school of thought, John.
Oh, did you hear that what happened in Waitrose? No. There has been a mutiny.
Tell me about the Waitrose mutiny.
So
because anything more middle class.
In Berkhamsted, where one does our grocery shopping, in Berkhamsted, the Waitrose no longer give out the Times, the Guardian and the Mail for a £10 purchase. It's like back in the day where they took away the coffee subscription. We had a free cup of coffee every time you went in. There was a mutiny. There was a mutiny, I tell you. So you can now see what I've done. I have now sewn all of those there.
Yes, you have. Well done, you.
I have pressed all my seams to the dark side. And now we're going to do something, and I'm sure all of you have done this before. It is called a partial seam. So what that is going to mean is, if you just look at this block here, there is no physical way of sewing that on to that bit, to this bit, without having a wobbly flappy bit. Sorry, that's the only way I can describe it, as a wobbly flappy bit.
On a Monday?
On a Monday morning, before 11 o'clock, we're going to go with a wobbly flappy bit. And what that's going to mean is I'm going to sew from here to about there, and this is going to be my wobbly flappy bit for the whole demonstration. Okay.
You can
and to make you remember it, I'm going to call it the wobbly flappy bit all the way along.
Wow.
That is the John-ism for a partial seam.
Okay, the wobbly flappy bit.
The wobbly flappy bit.
I mean,
what more can one say?
I
Sylvia is
right
having a conniption going, you can't say that!
I think it just did. Vicky, who's watching from Texas, she might have just gone back to Texas. And just been like, hello, keep your wobbly flappy bit. Thank you very much.
So you can see we've got our little flappy bit over here.
Amazing.
A little flappy bit, and then we're going to press this open, and all will be revealed once I press this open.
Okay. Lo, this is an interesting fact, Lo has collected children's paracetamol from Home Bargains. They don't limit how much you can buy. Because normally you're limited to like 2 packets, aren't you?
Why are we hoarding paracetamol?
What to send? With colouring books and
pens.
With
you now. Sorry, now I understand. Sorry, we're on a different conversation.
Yeah. No, we've moved away from wobbly flappy bits.
Well, exactly. I was going to be like, gosh, Lo, I didn't realise it was going to affect you that badly.
I mean, I don't know. We're making assumptions.
It won't be flappy for long. So we've got our little flappy bit over here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sewing that bit onto here. And in order to do that, I'm going to line this up. And you
is it just one wobbly flappy bit?
Just one wobbly flappy bit.
Okay.
So you're going to have one little bit hanging over there about 1/4 inch, and one little bit hanging over there 1/4 inch. And that is, you're wanting to centre that, and you can tell, do you want to go into the thingy? And I can show them my flappy bits on the end.
Go on.
You can see my little 1/4 inch there and my little 1/4 inch there. And you know you've got your 1/4 inch seam and you've lined it up perfectly, as when you start sewing, it goes directly into that little gap where it's supposed to join up together.
No, so she's got enough of her own wobbly flappy bits, thank you.
Here. Not to you, Lo, to me. I was woken at 2 a.m. this morning. We had one of the most delicious meals ever last night. It was absolutely divine. Creamy prawns chili sauce with a prawn chili pasta, but my body does not like that amount of yumminess anymore.
Oh.
So you just realise you've reached that age where your body doesn't like yumminess anymore. You're only about 2 weeks away from bits falling off.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, we all are now.
Exactly. Not quite sure what it'll be, but hopefully it's 3 stone around the middle. So that'll be quite nice. So maybe 1.5 stone on each boob. So now I'm putting that over there, exactly as before. You can have a little 1/4 inch hanging over there, a little 1/4 inch hanging over there. And we're going to sew a 1/4 inch along that.
Oh, it turns out Vicky's our kind of girl. She says, oh, I'm okay with a wobbly flappy bit. It's a good name for a Texas girl.
Are you going
to tribe, Vicky?
Have you ever been to the Houston Quilt Festival?
Not yet. I was going to go this year. They've cancelled it. Rude.
No, they haven't. It's in November. No, it's in November. Do you want to go?
Yes. I thought they'd cancelled it.
No, they cancelled the spring one.
Oh.
But the one in October is still going on.
Is it now?
I am so tempted to go.
Well, I'm going. Well, if it's on, I'm going.
Should we get an Airbnb?
Yes.
You know I'm going to be out drinking until many hours of the night.
I know.
You know you can't talk to me before 12 a.m.
I'll just leave a coffee and I'll do like a knock and run
what Andrew
with a coffee
does,
on your door.
Leave a donut, a coffee, and just leave.
Yep.
Oh, could Gemma come too? Actually, no. Someone has to be here to bail us out of prison.
Someone needs the bail money.
no, I've got the money. It's not that. It's just be able to get the money to the police station.
There you go, Gemma. Know your place.
There you go, Gemma. Well, she's got a Louis Vuitton handbag. Of course she's going to have that one. Right, so exactly like before. Exactly the same. Quarter inch over there. And we sew that one down.
Amazing.
Can you see how this is going? It is not difficult.
Morning, Jess. Ah, Lo said she did the TikTok thing where you tap the screen and it shows that you've lost 3 stone. She said nothing happened. Apparently you have to diet in between tapping.
Rude.
How rude.
Rude. However, Lo, are you as addicted to TikTok as I am? Am I able to send you my funny TikToks at 2 a.m.? Because I'm struggling to find people to send my TikToks to. I used to be able to send them to Becky, but yeah. So now I've got no one to send my TikToks to.
Do I need a TikTok account so
oh
you
my God,
can
no!
send them?
You honestly, you will lose your life on there. It's brilliant, and you can see how this is going. It's no real It's not interesting until the next bit. So we're going to sew this one on.
Really sell the show.
Really
Go
interesting.
on.
The next bit's interesting because that's when you get rid of your flappy wobbly bit.
Jess wants to know what we're making with our said flappy wobbly bits. Let me show.
We're
just
making
show
a
you
bigger hexagon.
a big hexagon that is
We're
not
making
flappy
that over there.
or wobbly, and it's one of lovely Jenny Raymond's. Yeah, Margaret says she can imagine Jem arriving with the bail money.
Yep.
Being distracted by all the loveliness at the show. Yeah, she wouldn't. She'd just end up going home with large bags of goodies and just leaving us in prison, wouldn't she? That's what would happen, let's be honest.
Oh, I love it. But I am so tempted to go, and because I've always wanted to go to Texas. Because you know that the wholesale one for the traders is for about a week beforehand.
Yeah.
Before Quilt, so the market is before the show. So now we've got our flappy wobbly bit, our little flappy wobbly bit. We're going to fold that back. And we're just going to finger press that over there, and then we're going to stitch that bit onto there.
Amazing.
Can you tell now why
Yes.
we have a flappy wobbly bit now?
I can see flappy wobbly bit. I can see exactly why.
Perfect.
Sylv would spend the bail money on fabric. Well, yeah, that's why I'm not sure
That
we
is
can
true,
actually
actually.
trust Gemma. And Vicky says that she'll
Speaking
take
of
the
spending
money.
bail money on fabric,
What have you done?
no, what have you done? When's the Lisa getting here?
It's on its way.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh, so this is the other thing. So I should have mentioned this. Tomorrow should have been one of our last blocks of the month for the Oriental Baltimore. But because someone's got a bit, heavy-handed in Russia, my plane is a bit delayed with my fabrics. So we're going to have to wait another week so that my fabrics are here. They are on their way, though.
Oh, that I believe.
They're all printed and done and on their way. Just a bit delayed because, the world keeps happening.
Yeah.
Rude.
Now, when you're doing this bit of pressing bit here, try and keep your iron away from your flappy wobbly bit over here.
Oh, you don't want to be pressing
You
that.
do not want to be pressing
No,
that down.
painful.
Ask me how I know,
Ooh.
having made 9 of these blocks now.
Right, so Vicky is going to be our saviour, and she says that she will take the money to the police station to bail us all out.
Yay.
And then Gemma can go too. You know that you'll
Vicky,
need
how
your bail
big's your
money.
house? We don't take up much room, I promise.
Oh, different Vicky.
Oh, okay.
Different Vicky.
Right, so
other
we've
Vicky
got our
hasn't offered
I
for us to come and
wouldn't
stay.
offer either, Vicky. We wouldn't be there, to be fair. We'd go to the fabric show, go to a bar, and then come home and just fall into a heap on the floor. So we've got our flappy wobbly bit there now. We've sewn all 5 of those sides on now.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to do is we're going to now stitch this down.
You've
So
put Margaret off the whole thing.
Sorry,
with the
Margaret.
floppy wobbly bit.
So what you're aiming to do is to make sure that you've got a 1/4 inch on the end over here, like you did all the way around. And you can see that's the 1/4 inch there. Probably see it there. And that is what we're looking to have. Now you're going to sew along that edge to make sure that everything is stitched down.
Oh, hang on. Vicky seems to know some stuff about this. This is our 3rd Vicky of the morning.
Hello,
by
Vicky.
The way.
Can we call her Vicky 3?
Vicky Dyer, she said, should advise.
Vicky 3PO.
For many reasons, safety, economic, environmental, logistics, is not to send goods to Poland. Donate to the official charities.
Good. Okay.
Thank you. Are we talking about Quilt Market? Yes, Jess. Still spending all the bail money on fabric. Lo said she was just going to watch for 2 minutes, 4 hours later. That's how it happened.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. There we go.
Right. We've done it.
Hooray!
It's done. And now all we're doing is we're pressing it. So now basically all you've done You've just made another bigger hexagon.
Amazing.
It's exactly the same as it was before, just bigger.
Perfect.
So what I'm going to show you now is exactly the same thing, just your first initial point is going to have a bigger flabbly wobbly bit.
Amazing.
So we're going to start, we'll start over here. You're going to flop that over there and you're going to sew along that line. Now what I
Poor
do...
Margaret, she's not enjoying this.
I'm sorry, Margaret. But there's no other description to be able to make it that will make you remember. When I do my first stitchy bit, I sew to the first seam over here. And when you're going, you can see I've just got a tiny little bit of a dog ear there. I just sew for my first partial seam up to that point.
Right.
And then we start all the way around on that end.
John, my stomach's rumbling.
I have to say, being a little later than usual, didn't we have bacon rolls the last time I was in?
We did.
We did.
Well,
now
mine
we
was
know that
bacon,
I'm
sausage
not
and egg.
in on the second Monday of April
Hang on. What? Do I know this?
because
Why, where are you going?
we have a book launch.
Oh, yes.
on
No,
the
I do know about this.
second Tuesday, because we can't do it on Monday
Yes.
because of various reasons.
Yes. Yes, yes.
So exactly like we had before, you're doing a partial seam. This is your flappy wobbly bit over here. Sorry for the terminology that don't like it. And now we're going to do exactly this. Now this, exactly as before, you're going to have a 1/4 inch over here. You're going to have a 1/4 inch over here. But what Jenny is so clever, what you're going to have in the middle as well, if you don't mind doing a close-up, please, ma'am.
Close-up, sir.
What you're going to find is you've got two little dog ears over here that you're going to merge, you're going to line up, and then if you get those lined up and your 1/4 inch is perfect, you're going to hit your point. Watch me not hit my point.
Oh, Kerry's here as well. Jess says, yep, she's donated to the Ukraine British Red Cross appeal.
Brilliant.
Next month it'll be the DEC. Is that... I forgot what the DEC stands
Oh,
for.
you
Ooh,
are
that
really
should
having a
sound
bad
good.
day today, aren't you, my darling?
And yes, of course, we all have fingers crossed for a swift resolution. We don't mean to belittle any of it, do we? It's just that...
No, not at all. But I think,
It's-
unfortunately, we are British and we have that terrible sense of humour that when things are absolutely terrifying and could potentially wipe out the entire planet, if you don't laugh about it, you can have a nervous breakdown and never leave your bed.
Well, that's just it, isn't it?
And that, unfortunately, doesn't sit well with a lot of people. And we're not making light of it. It's for our coping mechanism not to
Oh, hang on.
think ill thoughts.
Ali B's donating via her local Polish centre who have trucks going out
Oh,
there.
fabulous.
Oh, well, that sounds like a better idea as well, doesn't it, if you've got actual stuff to send? Oh, Vicky says that she would offer us accommodation, but she's the wrong side of Texas. She lives in North Texas. I'm guessing because it's America, that's like big.
That is quite big.
That's
That'd be
big,
like
isn't it?
going to Spain.
Oh.
Yeah, it is quite big.
Oh, Disasters Emergency Committee. Thank you, Jess. Yeah, that's it. Claire
Come on,
likes
my
the fluffy
darling.
wobbly bit
Come on, my darling.
because it makes the block symmetrical. She says, one reason I don't like log cabin is it's always off.
Oh, well, you should come and do my log cabin class.
So she said, I would do each round with a fluffy wobbly bit.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I haven't done this bit. So we are now pressing down our first bit over here.
Yay.
Now, who thinks I've hit my point? Come on, let's
I
take a
think
bet.
so.
You
I
think I
think so.
have? Oh my God.
Have you done it? Are you feeling smug?
I'm
Is
not
there
smug.
smugness?
I'm just a little impressed with my lovely little sewing machine. But I think that's quite good. I think that's
Well done,
quite
you.
good. I'm quite happy with that one. Yes.
Good job.
Good, happy with that one. I might just press it a little more just to make sure I bolster my confidence for the remaining 5 points that no doubt I will miss with spectacular.
But first one,
Perfect.
so far so good.
Everything is all downhill from
Amazing.
here.
Oh, don't say
It
that,
is. You never get.
Jonathan.
When have you ever gotten 6 points live on air all the time? When have you ever done it? Oh, but you're Natasha McCarthy, of course you have. Sorry.
Well, so
She hits
Natasha
every
makes a mistake,
point
so
all
you
the
don't
time.
have to. Is my short and my long nickname. That's what we're saying. My book should be called.
No, but in all seriousness, what is the cafe serving today?
don't know, John, and we've got no one that we can send down. It's just Dee and me.
Don't they have a website?
No.
Can
it's
I
just
phone
Jane
them?
and her big flowery baps. She's not got a website. Come on.
And we're not talking about Jane Alcock, just
No.
way.
No. It's just
It's just the
Jane
way
in the
you
cafe.
said that. It's just Jane with her big flowery baps. Like, Jane Alcock does not
No.
have flowery baps. How dare you? She's a national treasure.
But she does love Jane's big flowery baps, as we all do.
As we all
We
do.
all do down here, yes.
Natasha, that's 2 for 2.
Oh.
I'm going to talk about
Boom.
Jane's flowery baps every single time I do this now.
It's like your good luck
Between
charm.
my flappy bits, my big flappy bits, and Jane's flowery baps, what could possibly go wrong?
I mean, who knows?
Can I just say for the record, Jenny did give me permission to demo this. I really hope she's not watching. Because
You know
think
what?
such permission will be revoked.
If ever there were
Actually,
a
if there
woman-
was ever a person who does
Yeah.
tongue-in-cheek, it is her. Speaking of national treasures.
Oh, she is fabulous. Barbara says, sorry, very late. Turn on, and you're talking about flappy bits. Well, you know, Barbara,
You're welcome.
that's how we roll.
It's what happens when Gemma's not well and she's not here to look after us.
To rein us in.
It is.
Yeah.
But we haven't gone on to the electronic device that will not be named and started saying things that you can say to it.
No, we haven't.
No. Low
No.
is evil.
Low, stop it.
Low is
Before you even
evil.
start, Low, stop it.
I know it. She's typing as we speak.
We know. We
She
know.
knows she
Trying
is.
to make me say it out. Put that on Natasha Makes T-shirt, Jane's Flowery Baps. No, I mean...
I'm not telling her. I'm not telling her. You can tell her that one. Jane, I really am sorry. She's on holiday. She won't notice.
She won't be watching.
She won't be watching.
No, hopefully. And if she is, then it's a rubbish holiday. That's all I'm going to say. That's like a busman's holiday, isn't it?
Well...
Oh, Jane's just realised that the outer triangles reminds her of the Manx flag, the Isle of Man one,
Oh.
which is rather lovely. Yes, yes, yes. Morning, Natalie.
So we have only got one more scene to put on here.
Amazing. Come on. How many is that? I mean, is it? Have you matched it?
I got 3 out of 4.
Way!
It's not that far out, but it's
Do you know
out.
what?
I don't care.
No one is perfect.
No.
And it shouldn't be.
And if you're that close to my points, you will appreciate them or suffer the consequences.
Another point.
Steady on. I don't know if that's worse
Not
than
like
Jane's
that.
bets. My goodness me,
To
hello.
poke them out the way.
No.
John!
Love it. So we're almost done with our flappy wobbly bit. It's our big flappy wobbly bit.
Amazing. I mean, I didn't know they were being graded in size.
I uttered not a syllable. Did you notice that, boys and girls? I'm improving. I did not even utter a syllable.
I know Gemma was nervous about today's show
Why?
because she's not here.
Oh, I hope we haven't let her down.
I think she can't do anything about it, can she? She's in bed.
I think she just doesn't want me to celebrate her birthday with her. Did she tell you what I left her as a gift the last time I was in? So Gemma's birthday was the last time I was in and she wasn't in. She had a day off. So I folded up a little thing saying, happy birthday, present for your bag. And I put a whole load of trash in the middle of a bag.
So the backstory to that is the very first time that John ever met Gemma. I don't know.
So what it was is the bin was right there and Gemma's bag was right there. And the bin was full and Gemma's bag was empty. And when I looked, there was just a lot of stuff in it. And I thought, oh, there's the bin. And I put it down thinking it was a recycling bin. And it was her rather expensive Louis Vuitton bag.
She spent 20 years saving for.
Luckily, it was a piece of paper. Can you imagine it had been a banana or a Coke can or something?
Yeah, with a bit of Coke
can
left
you
in the
imagine?
bottom.
I would
just
never have
dripping through it.
recovered.
No, I mean, you'd never have been friends.
So at that point, no, I'd have bought her a new one. It just, there's no way to
You'd have
recover
been her
from
best
that.
friend.
Exactly. So at that point, you've now got your partial seam that you did initially over there. You're now going to sew that on over here. Now, just like you've done previously with all the other ones before, line your dog ears up over there, and you should, in theory, get your point. If you don't, please be kind to yourself. It is only a point. It doesn't matter in the greater scheme of things.
Gemma says she's forgiven you.
Of course she has. And that's what I said in the podcast, that it's a testament to her good nature that she still likes me. Entertains having me in the office.
I think it's because you entertain us in the office, John. But she doesn't mind.
Right. And now you will make 7 of those in order to make your quilt.
Just, whip them. Actually, that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to.
And we were gassing away. And now remember, this is exactly the same colourway as the middle block, but all you need to do is just change the colours over here to be able to make the other ones. The technique is identical.
Amazing.
All that changes is the colour. And that is our central block, all made, done and dusted. I did do a YouTube tutorial on making the whole piece, not only this, but also the piecing of this whole thing together, because there is a very tricky Y seam over here that you need to be able to do. So if you look at Quilt Along with John, it was live yesterday, and that is the block that we've made for the middle.
Amazing.
And then you just change the colours around to get those to do the outside.
I quite like a Y seam these days.
I do too. But she explains it so brilliantly in this book as well. So there are 3 of the books on your website. I know one of them is called Fans and Fabrications. There's Material Magic, which is this one.
And another.
Foldy Roly Poly.
Oh, there's all sorts of
I forget the other one as well.
Wobbly bits and all sorts.
But I did that one last month, and we haven't done Fans and Fabrications yet, I don't think.
I think we might have to find something. But that's not what we're going to do next month, is it?
I'm a little bit excited about next
Do you want to tell everyone?
So the amazing, amazing Jenny Jackson has a book
Friend
out.
of the show. I mean, we love Jenny.
Jenny's amazing. She's absolutely stunning. And I did a podcast with her a couple of weeks ago, and I won't deny, and I can say this openly, I fell a little bit in love with her because she is so talented, so amazing, and just one of the nicest people. Honestly, she's just incredible. I just love her, love her, love her. And then,
so we like to support the nice people, don't we?
She's amazing.
We always like to support
and
the
then,
people.
of course, I knew she was doing a book before I did the podcast. So when the podcast comes out on the Sunday after Easter, because I don't feel it's right to do a podcast on Easter Sunday, you will see all the details of the book. It's phenomenal, absolutely incredible. She's launching the book on another channel on the Monday, the 10th, I think it is, and then 11th. The Monday. She's out on the Monday for the show, the day the book comes out. And then I've got it on the Tuesday.
So,
and when the book arrived from David Charles, and I literally just sat and looked through the book, I phoned Natasha immediately and I said, we've got to do it. It's amazing. It's absolutely so good. It's one of the best books I have seen in a very, very long time. So simple, so beautiful, just so gorgeous, and so full of her. So for me, I can't rave about it enough. So yeah,
and you will be able to buy it here.
You definitely, yes. So it'll all be on the website here as well. I'm not quite sure dates and times of all of that because I don't know what the official date and all of it is. But as far as I know, Tuesday the 12th, I think it is. I am here doing that.
Yes. Yes. With Jenny's permission amazing. And everything else.
It's amazing. A really beautiful book. And of course, just as an aside, we're doing block 5. Just block 5 as well. But honestly, that is one of the most beautiful books I've seen in a very, very long time. And I was really lucky to get it from David Charles to be able to look at it first. And it is beautiful.
So we're very excited to be able to bring that to air and projects from it.
Yeah.
Which is going to be lovely. And that's a little change of pace. You're moving away from FPP to EPP.
Well, FPP, EPP, but I'm kind of teasing you in for the EPP sections over here.
Nice.
So all of those are EPP.
Beautiful.
Really excited.
Beautiful.
But I might try and do an EPP as well as an applique one as well, because I know a lot of people don't like EPP, and there are some quite vicious little circles over there, so we need to make sure that we get it just right for you and go from there. Perfect. All being done. What's on tomorrow is our gorgeous bag. Poor Natasha has to make another one of these for tomorrow, though.
I know, right?
Are you going to make me a blue one with a blue liner in the inside?
Well, I was going to make, because I cut a half metre of each, I was going to make another one in the same colourway. So, no, I think it's the answer to that.
And this is a coastal collection by Tilda. It's terrible. You won't like it. Don't look. No. You won't like it.
I will put kits together in 3 different colourways
Yeah.
in Tilda.
Yeah. We have a blue
what I
one.
will do. Huh?
A blue and a green one.
I will put all of them.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So that's tomorrow.
Hurrah!
Yay! Look after yourselves. Stay safe. And I don't know if it's safe to lick anybody or not, but don't watch the news.
Yeah. Don't watch the news. And lick
Whatever
people
you're
if you
doing,
want to.
enjoy it. We're going for a burger now or something. Anything to eat.
Oh yeah.
Pizza. Burger. Double bacon egg. Sorted. Have a great day, all of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.